Hey everybody, I hope you guys are doing well. We're going to talk about mortgage management for corporate business owners. So first thing we're going to talk about is what is the problem? So the problem is this: how many people have I seen structure their corporate personal incomes correctly year in and year out to qualify for endless amounts of mortgages which allow them to scale in real estate? And the short answer is zero. So the question becomes why? What's the problem? So when we look at someone's financial position, here are a bunch of people that they're working with. They're working with corporate lawyers, accountants, a realtor, financial advisors, residential bankers, residential mortgage brokers, commercial bankers, commercial mortgage brokers, life insurance agents. And the issue is none of these people are connected together. But when it actually comes relative to your financial position, they are 100% connected together. And the funny thing is, the person that's actually responsible for connecting all of these people together is you. That's who's currently doing this. The only issue is you're probably not that good at it. And when we look at the average business owner's experience with each of these industries, let's just go through it. A corporate lawyer, like what corporate lawyers do, what does the average business owner really know? A teeny bit. How about an accountant? Well, they deal with their accountants every single year to deal with their accounting, so they probably know a little bit. How about the real estate side? I'd probably say that's probably the strongest suit, so the most people would know some about on the real estate side of things. Financial advisors, I would say a little bit. Residential bankers, they know a little bit. Residential mortgage brokers, a little bit. Commercial bankers, you either know a teeny bit or you know zero because you actually don't even know a commercial banker. Commercial mortgage brokers, again, teeny bit or just zero. And hopefully you have life insurance so you know a little bit. So this is the background, I would say, of most business owners. So here's the thing. With a knowledge base of a teeny bit or a tiny bit to a little bit, it makes it impossible to unify these industries together and make them work as one. But here's the thing, when these industries do work together as one, this is where the magic happens. So, what's the solution? The solution is this. Right now, you are currently responsible for unifying all these industries together. Well, I'm putting a service together where I replace you with me. So let's actually go to my background relative to these industries. So residential mortgage broker for 13 years. My core clientele has been real estate investors and business owners. Became a commercial mortgage broker for about 6 years ago, so I've been involved in that. Life insurance agent, 22 years. Corporate law, dealing with all my clients' corporate structuring and share structuring, like 10 plus years. Accountant, dealing with all the accounting restructuring. I do this, like almost on a daily basis. Over 13 years experience. Real estate or dealing with realtors, 13 years. Financial advisor, so I'm not actually a financial advisor, but having a life license for 20 years, I got a really good idea what the financial advisor space does. Residential bankers, I've been worked with 30 plus residential bankers to get everything done. And then commercial bankers, I work with 30 plus commercial bankers. So this is pretty much my background relative to each of these categories. So here's the thing, with this background, it's actually very easy to unify these industries together and make them work as one. So let's go find the results, or let's look for some proof. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you pretty much what I did from 2015 to 2022. So in 2015, I'm having a kid, so that means I got to go buy a larger property. So I purchased a row house for $500,000 in Langley. Nothing special about that. In 2016, I purchased a $350,000 house in Mission, part of a 3-property land assembly. We used private financing at 8% to buy it. The reason was the house was not livable at the time of purchase, and we actually owned it in a corporation. The other thing I did was I refinanced my Langley row house and added a $150,000 line of credit. So that's what I did in 2016. 2017, I claimed the exact income required to refinance the Mission house to normal financing or AAA financing. I used Scotiabank branch for corporate ownership and got a variable rate mortgage with a cheap penalty for when we would sell it to a developer. Then also in 2017, I refinanced my Langley row house again and converted it into a pure mortgage and took out the maximum equity out of it. The money was going to be used for a down payment, but also line of credits are bad for qualifying for mortgages when you're trying to go to the maximum. So I got rid of my line of credit. So then in 2017, I purchased a $900,000 house in Vancouver Island. This is back in the day when you can buy $1 million houses for $1 million on Vancouver Island. Those days are pretty much now gone. The closing date was March of 2018. So why did I do March of 2018? I gave myself 5 months to close. I did not qualify with my 2015-2016 income. I had to qualify with my 2016-2017 income. But here's the thing, my 2000 income notice of assessment and my T1 generals would only be ready in March of 2018. So that's why I positioned the closing date for March of 2018, qualified, and was able to buy the property. 2018, claimed the exact income required to purchase a $900,000 Vancouver Island home, which we just mentioned, kept the Mission and Langley properties as rentals. Then in late 2018, I discovered that it was possible to build condo buildings that you can keep as rentals long run. I partnered with a friend of mine who was in construction and development for 30 plus years. Then in 2019, 6 properties we got under contract with closing dates from 2 months to 1.5 years, all designed for development. We purchase price range was from $560,000 to $750,000. On top of that, I started restructuring my business partner's financials to qualify for lending because we had to use him to buy half of the properties. Then in 2019, I sold the Mission property to a developer. I sold the Langley property. Basically, the reason was I needed down payments for the new properties, but also the properties messed up the income ratios. So the Langley property was not really a good property to have if you wanted to scale up into owning multiples of properties. Then in 2019, we bought 2 of the 6 properties. We used private for one of them because at that time we didn't actually qualify. Then in 2020, again, I claimed the exact incomes required to purchase the other 4 out of the 6 properties. On 2 lots, we qualified for a $9.2 million construction loan to build a 40,000 square foot rental building, raised $2.9 million. And here's actually a picture of what the building looks like when it's complete. We're about 4 months away from completion. Then in 2021, purchased 2 more lots to complete a 5-lot assembly. Prices range from $850,000 to $900,000. Refinanced 2 properties for the down payments to make this work. Refinanced the principal residence for access to equity. And then 2022, really at the time of this video, we just completed our 2nd and 3rd readings for a 114 unit condo building with 5 of the lots. Now I'm working on a $40 million construction loan, and the building will look like that. So for 2023 and beyond, we're going to get a $13 million CMHC loan on the 40,000 square foot rental building and keep it long run. And pretty much we're going to buy more lots, land, rezone it, build it, and keep it as rentals. So when you look at my background here, I would say that there is going to be a 0% chance of what you just saw existing. I would say I would have been shut down by 2017. So basically whatever happened from 2018 to 2022 would not exist. So here's something funny. What income did I claim in most of the years to do this? So you probably think I probably claimed quite a bit of money to make this thing work. So my financial structure looks like this. I pay 11% small business tax from the income in my company. I pay $40,000 to $45,000 in dividends to myself, and then $40,000 to $45,000 dividends to my wife. Our personal tax bill is maybe around $2,000 a year each. I pay $0 in CPP, or the Canadian Pension Plan, for each of us. And the reason I pay 0 is because Canadian Pension Plan is only payable on salaried incomes. So you're paying out a dividend, there's no tax, there's no CPP required to be paid on it. So there you go. So managed accounts. The short answer to this service is this. Instead of you trying to manage all of this, I do it. I take over everything, I restructure everything, and we plan out everything flawlessly. But the trick with this is just not to do this for 1 year. You actually have to do this every single year in and year out. With this type of proper planning, the kind of results that you will get versus what you're most likely currently doing is not even comparable. So if you're an incorporated and you're in real estate, this service is specifically designed for you. Feel free to call 778-896-6732 or email me, robert@robertklein.ca.